Yo, family, the stock market closed on weakness last week, so here's what you can expect this week. It's time to protect our money. It's always lovely to wake up to articles like this. Stock futures inch up as investors prepare for the S&P 500 to test its June low. Make no mistake, the markets are down, and we definitely are in the range of testing those lows. More about this article. It said on Friday, stocks ended a brutal week with the blue chip Dow finding a new intraday low. Okay, we talked about that in the last video too. The Dow hit new lows. Will the rest of the markets follow? So let's protect our money by checking out these charts. Let's slide that out of the way, and here we go. The S&P right now is showing continued weakness. It's around 3,700, and this is the level that we said it must protect. If it does not protect this level, then we are in trouble. Now, what to expect? I expect movement, all right? And this is the most important thing to understand about protecting your money with reading charts. You don't know a thing, all right? You have to understand that nobody knows the stock market. Nobody. And if they tell you otherwise, they are lying, because they know nothing. All we know is that the price is going to move. There are probabilities, and if you understand that there are probabilities, there's a higher chance of something happening, lower chance of something happening, then you are in good shape. So let's talk about these probabilities. Now, because we are at the lows, chances are that we will test that low. That's the high probability. If it breaks, then we know what direction we're going to continue to move. And that's the simplicity of reading a chart. That is the S&P. Let's go ahead and check out the Dow. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, make sure that you continue to get content in this fashion, all right? Dow closed at 29,632 is where we're at right now. So around 20, upper 29s, close to 30,000. If we zoom in, let's take a look, and there are those new lows. New lows. This is not surprising to us because we have been tracking this every week. We put our trend lines in place. This is all we needed to do. We saw that the market is continuing to slide, and then we put our trend lines in place and saw that if it broke, we knew where it was going to happen. This is no mistake to us, all right? Now, we are around our 200-day moving average, so we're looking for defense. This week is all about defense. Defense. We want to see if the market can hold itself up. If it can, then we have a chance for a rally. So keep an eye out to see what this week brings, all right? That is the Dow. Let's go ahead and check out the Russell futures. Russell futures are around close to 1,700, we'll put it that way, right? 1,684, and we're ticking back and forth. And we're starting to see some defense here when it comes to the Russell. We had a whole cluster of candles back here around this area showing some type of defense, and now we're back here. And this is a doji candle, but it's very early, all right? Very early in the week, so we cannot make a determination just yet. We're going to wait for that week to tell us what we can expect. This is the Russell, and lastly, let's check out the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq right now is around 11,400. We'll round up, all right? So 11,385, and we're ticking back and forth, and we see that it is currently positive as we speak. Let's zoom in to see what this looks like, and chances are it looks exactly like the other indexes. And we're around our 200-day moving average once again. And for the last one, let's take a look and see what happened last time we were at our 200-day moving average. And ooh, I mean, that is a glimmer of hope, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Last time we were at our 200-day moving average, we got a move on. Will it repeat? We don't know. That's all we need to understand, all right? Those are the futures. The futures are all pointing right now towards a lower open, but we are pretty stable, all right? We're not just falling off of a cliff, and that's good news. So we're going to continue on and look at these 6 stocks that we continue to watch, which is Apple, Amazon, Meta Platforms, Netflix, Tesla, and Alphabet, all right? And first on the list, we will check out Apple, because everybody loves Apple, right? So AAPL is the ticker, and we are at 150.43. Last week we did predict that it would close near 150, and we did. So great job. 150.43. If we take a look at what's happening here, we've discussed that every time we are near that 170, 180 area, that we have fallen, and that was no mistake. Now we've got a candle pattern here where things are looking to make that continuation to the downside. Normally when I've seen this in the past, this is what I've seen, is that the market continues to move lower. Apple hasn't opened yet. It's around 150-ish right now. I think that it will likely keep moving lower, unfortunately. All right, let's take a look at the daily to see if we can get any insight on a candle that closed last week. And we have a hammer candle. A hammer candle could be a good indication of a defense. Maybe the line in the sand at 150 can hold up. That hammer candle could also be a continuation signal. That's what's often confused about the hammer candle too. So we'll wait for the signal. All right, we need confirmation with a break at that 150 level. That's Apple. Let's check out Amazon. Amazon is at 113.78. I was looking for a move to 115 and got that in bonus. 113.78 is where we closed at. Take a look at the weekly. The weekly is showing to us that we are, everything's just selling off. So we went up, and as I discussed in prior videos, gravity applies to the market too. What goes up must come down. All right, and now we are inching closer to around this 110 area. We see a lot of candles showing some type of activity in this area. I think that the price will return here in order to test out its strength. That's the weekly. Let's go back to the daily. The daily is giving us what type of signals here? It did make a move from the spinning top, move lower. We bounced a little bit, but a pretty weak bounce. I think this is also aligning with the weekly and showing that there's weakness and that it will likely continue to move lower, and we come back to this area. That's Amazon. Let's go ahead and check out Meta. Meta is at 140.41. All right, and this is also at new lows. Basically, we hit new lows last week, and man, it is not good at all. But I still think it is a great entry for anybody who's looking to finally start picking something up. Meta is a great entry price. I said that at 150. I'm going to say it at 140, and I am also going to say when it hits 130, it's also a great entry price. Why do I say 130? Because if you look back here in this area shows that there is a huge spike, right? One, and then this area too also shows a huge spike in that area. If we get there, chances are that it will likely get purchased. And I think that I should be a buyer. I think it's a good time for anybody to be a buyer around that price. That's Meta at the weekly. Let's take a look at the daily. Daily is also showing that it is breaking down. And it is sad. It's just a sad little poor chart. You must feel bad for it. This is the way of the world, all right? We've watched lions eat gazelles. This is the lion eating the gazelle in chart format, all right? That's Meta. Let's go on over and check out Netflix. And Netflix closed at 226.41. The family, we've discussed this multiple times, that we were staying out of the water because we don't know what direction it wants to go. Probabilities, however, are now starting to show that it'll likely continue to move lower to retest that 220. And if 220 breaks, then we know what's going to happen at that point. Remember, I said you really don't know what the stock market is going to do, but you do know a reaction will happen. And if it breaks 220, then it's likely going to continue to move lower. And that 220 price is pretty close. We're only $6 away from it. What to do? Here's how I look at this. All right, here's a bonus. If that 220 breaks, this large candle here is showing you the path that it will likely take. And it's going to likely move to around that 200 to 190 area. So if 220 breaks, we're likely going to move to that 190 to 200 area. And that will be another very good entry price to start for Netflix for anybody. All right, that's the weekly. Let's take a look at the daily. The daily is showing us a very similar fashion. We've got our moving average with our 50-day, which we are hugging right now. So we gotta respect that too. There's always two sides of the trade. And we gotta respect the fact that that 50-day is holding up the price. With that being said, there's also a chance for it to move to 250. We got this movement and we got this movement, which this can be considered a rejection, which is also pointing to the downside. Probabilities. We got an entire market shifting lower. So Netflix may likely follow. That's the probabilities of it, all right? Netflix 220, keep an eye on that. Tesla, let's check that one out too. Tesla is at 275.33, and we've discussed multiple times on here about anything near 300 is a sell level, and that has played out once again. We've gotten to that level and it has sold. We had a nice candle here, and now all of a sudden this one started to peak up and dramatically fell. But that's no surprise because it's once again near that 300 level. Once we finally break out of this level here around this 270 mark, if 270 does fail, then we're likely going to move back into the 240s before we see any type of activity for buyers to try to return back into the market. I say that because why? You see all of the candle action here showing you that there's a lot of activity when it comes to there. Ultimate price that you want to get around is that 220 to 225. We talked about that club. That club 225 is where you want to be at. I would be a buyer of Tesla anywhere in this range to start. Okay, remember, we're starting. This isn't load the boat. This is just starting. That's Tesla. On the weekly, let's take a look at the daily. The daily is showing us very similar action. We broke that 50-day that we were concerned about before, and now it is starting to track lower and showing us the same exact thing on the weekly. All right, that's Tesla. And lastly, let's check out Alphabet, aka Google, and it is below 100, 98.74. All right, that's the price there. Let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly is showing us that, what do we got going on here? We got a confirmed break. Okay, we got a confirmed break. We had support here, and now that is starting to show that it is breaking, and it's breaking bad. All right, Breaking Bad, Walter White. This is what we're doing. This is going to likely continue to move lower and get to our price targets that we set before, around that 85 to 90 area as the next buy area for Google. That's the weekly. Let's check out the daily. Daily is showing us that we are sliding. We're hitting new lows, and we may continue to make those lows. We've broken our support that we had here around this 100. What is that? Around 105 there, right? 100 was where it should defend. It'll likely continue to slide lower. So that's all of the indexes. That is all of the stocks that we follow, and all of them are showing that there is continued weakness in the market. And this is okay, because this is where we start to make our money. We start to make our money by getting in at very good prices. Make no mistake that when you go to the store and you see stuff on sale, you have the mentality of trying to get that product because you know what price it is. That, in essence, is technical analysis. That is reading a chart. That is protecting your money. All of that is what you exhibit when you go to the store. The stock market is no different. When you see prices get to a low, this is when you should start being interested in the market. It's the same mentality, but yet people continue to be scared. It doesn't make any sense, but I'm trying to help you make sense of it because you already have what it takes to succeed in the market, because we know when there's a bargain, we should take advantage of it. All right. I want everybody to take care of themselves. Check in for the next video. Check out the last one too. Hit the subscribe button. Health is wealth. This is what I also preach. This market stuff means nothing if you do not have your health, is what I meant to say. If you don't have your health, you are in trouble. All right? Take care of yourself out there. Drink your water, get some exercise, spend time with people that you love, and we'll catch you next time. All right? Peace.